Welcome to The Brain Your Wealth, a book authored by Mwima Mwesgwa Herbert, placing you in the driving seat of your economic prosperity.
Imagine you have a bank account and someone deposits 86,400 shillings on your account every day. And he tells you that you have to use all of it daily. If you don't, the remaining balance will expire. How would you utilize that money? Would you really put it to waste? Now, this is what God does every day. He gives us 86,400 seconds. But how do you use this time? What productive activities are you putting in your hours? Are you just wasting the hours, or you are maximally utilizing the hours? In business, time management is very, very important. Being late in delivering or supplying products or goods shows complete disrespect for the customer. This means being constantly late immediately disqualifies you from management position or advancement in business. So we have to ensure that we are always on time. We are always keeping time, because nowadays the saying is time is life. There are some questions that one should always ask themselves, and these are three important questions. 1. Ask yourself, where does my time go? 2. Ask yourself, where should my time go? 3. Ask yourself, how can I use my time better? Or how can I best use my time? It's always important to see to it that you have a daily time log. A daily time log will help you to know how you petition, how you budget your time. The first thing you should do is enter the date and list your daily objectives. Any person who is in business, any person who wants to live a purposeful life should ensure that they have a daily time log. Always set objectives that are 1. in measurable terms, so that you know whether you have achieved your objectives or you have not achieved them. 2. Achievable, so that you avoid being frustrated. You see, it's always good to set objectives that are achievable. It's not always good to set objectives that will frustrate you. Whenever you fail to achieve any objective, you may end up being frustrated. So that's why at the end of the day, make sure that you set objectives that are achievable. Make sure that you set objectives that are demanding, so that you ensure a sense of accomplishment. You see, whenever this objective is demanding you, you will make sure that you accomplish it. Then ensure that you set objectives that are flexible. For example, in case of circumstances over which you fail to achieve or to control these achievements, you can easily make sure that you become flexible. You change here and there, because there are times when you want to achieve something, but you find that there are other things that are really eating up your time. So the objectives should be flexible, so that you don't end up being frustrated at the end of the day. Remember, you listen to the audio of The Brain Your Wealth, a book that was authored by Mwima Mwesgwa Herbert, and this chapter is talking about time management. Remember, this book says, placing you in the driving seat of your economic prosperity. We are looking at the issue of having a daily time log. And the next point is, ensure that you establish deadlines for each objective. Determine by what time of the day you will have accomplished or completed each objective. It will really help you so that you know before midday I should have accomplished this. By 2 o'clock I should have accomplished this. It will basically help you accomplish your objectives well. Next, ensure that you record all significant actions in terms of results during each 15 minutes period. Ensure that every 15 minutes there is something that you are documenting. Every 15 minutes there is something that you are accomplishing. You have to make sure that your time is partitioned well. You have to ensure that you prioritize each action. Make sure that each action that you put on your list, you prioritize it in terms of importance, so that you know what is important to you, what is urgent to you. In addition to that, you have to ensure that you make a comment on each of the action. For example, have I accomplished it? How was it? Did I find challenges in accomplishing it? If you didn't accomplish it, you have to ask yourself and comment why you didn't accomplish that objective. Then there has to be questions following completion of the time log. Remember, we are talking about the issue of having a daily time log, but there are questions that you have to put into practice or into consideration. Question number 1: did setting daily objectives and deadlines improve my effectiveness? If yes, you tell us why. If no, you should tell us why not. Another question is, what time did I start on my number 1 objective? Did I begin on my number 1 objective on time? Did I begin on my number 2 objective on time? If yes, great. If no, I should find out why. Then you should also look at any distractions that happened in your time log. What distractions did happen in your time log? By doing so, you will get to know why they happened and why or how you deal about them next time. Then it's always good to know the extent to which you achieved each objective. If you accomplished the objective well, objective number 1 well and good, tick. If you had challenges in accomplishing objective number 2, then you should tell us, you should speak to yourself, document down why you got or you faced those challenges, so that next time you know best how to tackle those challenges. You are listening to the audio of The Brain Your Wealth, placing you in the driving seat of your economic prosperity. We are looking at chapter 11, time management. Remember, this book was written by Mwima Mwesigwa Herbert. In this chapter, we are also focusing on time wasters. Very many people don't know that they have time wasters in their lives. You will find that the day will just move when actually you are being distracted by time wasters. And when you talk about time wasters, we are going to have a list of those potential time wasters in your daily time log. So we have to begin with analyzing what our time wasters are. Or you need to analyze who your time wasters are. Wasting time at workplace or business place can mean, for example, wasting time or spending time surfing the internet, involving or indulging yourself in idle talk and idle chat, using WhatsApp. There are very many people who will go into their business. You open the shop, you open your duka, but you waste time on WhatsApp. You open your office, you go to your job, and then start wasting your time on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Twitter, and even on making calls that don't add up to the job that you are assigned to do or your business. So it's totally bad for you to waste time on such things, because at the end of the day you'll end up not making profits for your businesses, and what happens is your business will crumble or it will collapse. Some of the time wasters are telephone interruptions. Sometimes we have people who are calling us and they're involving us in talk that is not counting or that is not adding up to our businesses, so try to avoid them. Then we have people who come in. We are calling these as drop-in visitors. Some people go and visit you. They'll come and visit your business. Instead of letting you do your work, they'll end up eating up your time. So it's high time you try and avoid them. Many times we have time wasters in our time log. Like for example, meetings. We have sometimes meetings that are called that are not on purpose. Meetings that are on wrong time. Meetings that don't start on time. Meetings that don't have clear agenda. Meetings that are not really clear. You see, they don't have a clear time when they are ending. You see, meetings that are almost every day, yet they are not having clear objectives, so they also end up being time wasters. Whenever you enter a day, or whenever you get into a day when you have no clear objectives or you lack objectives, when you have no priorities, when you have no daily plan, it will end up wasting your time, because you'll go through the day unknowingly, and at the end of the day people will ask you, what have you achieved? And you'll say, there is nothing that I have achieved during the day. When you have a cluttered desk, or when you are personally disorganized, it will end up eating your time. It will end up eating your day. In doing so, the day will end up when you have achieved nothing. There is the issue of ineffective delegation. Sometimes whenever you don't delegate effectively, much of the work will not be done well. Then the issue of inadequate or inaccurate or delayed information. Sometimes we get information late. Sometimes the information is delayed. In doing so, we end up spending a lot of time doing the analysis here and there and not doing things on time. If your life is full of lack of or unclear communication, if you can't communicate well, if those people that you are in contact with can't communicate well with you, the challenge is you'll end up having your time wasted. And then the issue of indecision, if you can't make decisions very quickly, the issue of procrastination, where you have to do something right now but you push it for the next day, it will also bring out trouble in form of time wasting. Whenever somebody has a job description that is not clear, or a job that doesn't have a clear job description, then what happens is you'll have confused responsibility and authority, and at the end of the day you'll end up wasting your time during the time you are at your job or during the time when you are on your business. There is always a challenge of inability to say no. Very many people are yes men and yes women. Whenever you have a challenge of saying no to certain things, then you'll end up wasting your precious time. It's always good to have self-discipline, because lack of self-discipline, especially in areas of not planning, not having objectives, not having priorities, being lazy, will make you lose or waste your precious time that God gives you every day. After discussing all about the time wasters in our lives right now, let's look at the key points to consider how to use your time better. 1. List goals and set priorities for your day or in your life. It will help you a lot. 2. make a daily to-do list. Make sure that you have a daily to-do list. It will help guide you on how best to manage your time. 3. Ask what is the best use of time right now, because ask yourself, right now is time for lunch. What am I supposed to do? Go and have lunch. If it's time for breakfast, have breakfast. It's time for attending to your customers, do that. If it's time for attending to your job, do that. If you are in a business that has papers, if you are in a job that has papers, that has documents, please ensure that you handle each document, you handle each paper only once. Finish on it and then put it away, because this business of procrastinating, saying that, look, I will handle this one tomorrow, I will handle this one, I will handle this one the other day, it will eat up your time. Always ensure that you start with most urgent or most important tasks. Always categorize them, prioritize them, urgent and important, so that you know, as I enter office, as I open my business, what are the priorities or what are the tasks that I'm beginning with. By doing so, it will help you, and you should have a motto of do it now. Do it now. I repeat, do it now. Don't postpone doing something that you're supposed to do right now. As we are looking at time management, please, it is always good for us to ensure that we take breaks. In any business, take a break. In any job, please take a break. You see, take some rest so that at the end of the day, you'll have a healthy body, because taking breaks and taking rest is healthy for your body. As we conclude chapter 11 of time management in the book The Brain, Your Wealth, placing you in the driving seat of your economic prosperity, the book that was written by Mwima Mwesigwa Herbert, we are saying work smarter, not harder. Get control of your time and your life. Let's meet in the next chapter. God bless you.